So Genshin Impact is a game that revolves around the power of elements. There are 7 elements in total: Pyro, Cryo, Electro, Hydro, Anemo, Geo and Dandro. Each element has its own characteristics, strengths, weaknesses and interactions with other elements. Knowing how to use the elements effectively is crucial for both combat and exploration. But not all elements are created equal, and some are more useful and versatile than others. But which are those elements? So yeah, in this video I will rank all the 7 elements of Genshin Impact from worst to best. And it will be based on their damage potential, elemental reactions, team synergy and exploration utility. So yeah, before starting off this video, I want you guys to like and subscribe this channel if you haven't. And now, let's start. At number 7, I have ranked Geo. So Geo is the element of earth, but it might be as well the element of boredom in Genshin Impact. Geo has only one elemental reaction, which is Crystallize, which is far less than any other element. Crystallize can create shields for Cryo, Pyro, Hydro and Electro, but they are hardly worth the trouble. The shields are weak and short-lived, and they don't do anything else. You might think that Geo characters can make up for this, but you're wrong. The only way to make Geo work is to use an all-Geo team that benefits from Geo resonance, which boosts your shield and damage. But that means you have to sacrifice the variety and fun of other elements. The only exceptions to this rule are Zhongli, who is obviously the Archon and the best Geo character. He can create the strongest shield in the game, and Noel, who can heal and deal decent damage. But even they can't save Geo from being the worst element for exploration. Apart from some places where Zhongli and Geo Traveler can help you travel faster, Geo has no use for exploring the world. The only thing Geo is good for is breaking rocks, which is as exciting as it sounds. At number 6, I have ranked Electro. It is the element of lightning, but it doesn't strike as hard as you expect. Electro has a lot of reactions, some of which can be handy in combat, like Superconduct can deal area damage and lower enemy defenses, and Quicken can help you apply various effects faster. But Electro's problem is that it doesn't have many characters who can use these reactions effectively. The only ones are Raiden and Fischl, who are great damage dealers, but the rest of the Electro characters are either too niche or too weak. Electro got a bit of boost with the introduction of Dandro, the element of nature, which added more reactions for Electro, but it still can't compete with other elements. When it comes to exploration, Electro is slightly better than Geo, but not by much. Sometimes back, Electro was only useful for solving puzzles in Inazuma, but now Electro can also help you get around Sumeru. But that's about it. Electro doesn't have much else to offer for exploring Teyvat, and that is why I have ranked it 6th in my list. At number 5, I have ranked Anemo, the element of wind, and it is one of the best elements. Anemo can mix well with other elements, and it has some perks of its own. The Thrill reaction, which spreads elemental damage, works wonder with Cryo, Pyro and Hydro and Electro, and it's the reason why supports like Venti and Kazuha are so popular. Anemo also have amazing crowd control abilities that can make fighting multiple enemies a breeze, and it's essential for clearing the toughest challenge in the Spiral Abyss. Anemo can fit into almost any team, but it still depends on the power of other elements. Anemo is also the best element for exploration. Hands down, Anemo resonance gives you less stamina consumption and more movement speed, which makes traveling in any region a lot easier. This is why characters like Sayu and Kazuha are so good for exploring the world. Anemo is also used for solving many of the original puzzles that Genshin Impact has to offer, which are hidden all over the world. At number 4, I have ranked Cryo. Cryo is cool, but not cool enough. Cryo is the element of ice, and it's a solid element. Cryo has some of the most used and powerful characters in the game, who can dish out a lot of damage. Characters like Ayaka, Ganyu, Kaya are very popular and effective. Cryo reactions are also quite helpful, especially Superconduct, which can lower enemy defenses, and Frozen, which can immobilize enemies. But Cryo hasn't improved much over time, unlike other elements. Cryo is still a good element, but it's not as exciting or versatile as others. Cryo doesn't have many new reactions, and it's mostly used for damage or crowd control. Cryo is also not very good for exploration compared to other elements, and Cryo resonance gives you less stamina consumption when climbing, which is nice, but not very useful. Cryo is also used for solving puzzles in Dragonspine, but that's about it. Cryo doesn't have much else to offer for exploring the world. Number 3, Dandro. So Dandro reactions are more complicated than the others, but each is incredibly strong. It is the newest element and is not for the faint of heart, but for those who are willing to put some effort and strategy. It becomes one of the strongest in the game. Dandro reactions are more complex than the others, but each is incredibly powerful and has enabled other characters to shine again. Besides that, Dandro can unleash massive damage damage, and its team comps provide a lot of fun and variety. We have many good Dandro characters, but not as many as other elements. That's most likely because it's still new. However, that problem is solved if players have Nahida. Exploration with Dandro is a bit strange, but can hit or miss depending on the location. Inside Sumeru, it is vital to solving puzzles and navigating across the landscape. Outside Sumeru, Dandro has little used in exploration, which is a bit of disappointment considering its potential. At number 2, I have ranked Pyro. Pyro has always been the most popular element when it comes to dealing damage. Initially, Clay and Dialog ruled the fiery element, but in recent versions, it has shifted to Hu Tao and Yoimiya. Pyro 3 major reactions, Vaporize, Melt and Overload, are some of the simplest to use and understand, but also the most potent in the game, making them a big part of Pyro's strength. Pyro has always been blessed with insanely strong character kits, making the element even better, even if indirectly. But sadly, Pyro has no exploration capabilities or benefits to be used in traveling. In fact, one could agree that Pyro is a nuisance to exploration, and setting oneself on fire and having health take away becomes an annoyance. However, this is a small setback in the grand scheme of things, and it's not like avoiding Pyro during exploration is a necessity. And now I think all of you may have guessed that which element is the number 1 spot. Well, yes, I'm talking about Hydro. While it was once considered a weaker element, Hydro is now Genshin Impact's best element. It has high damage capabilities, especially in the hands of characters like Furina and Neuvillette, while also having the supportive abilities of Mona, Xingqiu and Yelan. All of the Hydro reactions are strong, and it can even be used to trigger Vaporize, which increases the damage of attack that inflicts the status effect. Vaporize is even stronger if Hydro is the one who activates it, doubling damage instead of multiplying it by 150%. Hydro and its characters continue to dominate the combat aspect of Genshin Impact. And however, Hydro may not have some exploration buffs that Anemo has, but it's still very useful. Yelan and Mona have untargetable dashes that make avoiding enemies a breeze. Meanwhile, Barbara and Kokomi can be portable healers, and they are also good in food, which can help you to avoid going to the statue to heal yourself again and again. So yeah guys, this was my list of all the 7 elements. You may not agree with my complete list, and if you want to place any other element above any of the element, then do comment down below, and I will see you in the next one.